In 1936, workers digging near Baghdad pulled a clay jar out of the ground that should not have been possible for its time. Inside was a copper cylinder, an iron rod, and traces of what looked like an acidic residue. Put those three components together and you do not get an ancient jar, you get a battery. The object is now known as the Baghdad Battery, and it dates back roughly 2,000 years, long before anyone on record had any concept of electricity. A copper cylinder wrapped around an iron rod, sealed in a clay vessel with space for a liquid electrolyte, is not a random arrangement. It is the same basic structure used in a modern voltaic cell. Researchers who built replicas and filled them with vinegar or grape juice recorded a small but real electrical charge somewhere between 0.5 volt and 2 volts. Not enough to power anything modern, but more than enough to matter 2,000 years ago. The official explanation offered by mainstream archaeology is that the jar was likely used for storing sacred scrolls, with the metal components serving some unrelated ceremonial purpose. But that explanation has never fully satisfied the people who study the object closely, because the internal geometry lines up too precisely with a functioning electrochemical cell to be dismissed as coincidence. A scroll does not need an iron rod centered inside a copper tube sealed with asphalt at both ends. That is not how you store paper, that is how you build a cell. If it really was a battery, the next question is the one nobody can comfortably answer. What would a civilization 2,000 years ago actually need electricity for? Some researchers have pointed to nearby artifacts showing extremely thin gold plating on silver objects, a process that even today typically relies on electroplating, a technique that requires an electrical current to bond the metals together. If that theory holds, this was not an accident or a toy. It was a tool built for a specific, repeatable purpose by people who understood something about electricity that history says they should not have known yet, and simply never wrote it down. The jar sits in a museum today, still debated, still unreplicated in its exact original use. What do you think it was actually built for? Drop your theory in the comments, like this video if ancient objects like this fascinate you, and subscribe for more mysteries history has never fully explained.